Very common question we get here at the gym and me as a personal trainer is, how can I use whey protein most effectively? How can I use protein powder to build muscle? So I'm gonna break that down for you today. There are a few simple tips and tricks I follow and I recommend to everyone, just to make sure you get the most out of your protein powder if you choose to use one. So without further ado, let's rip straight into it and get you the gains, all right? Number one is to remind yourself what protein powder is actually for. It's a supplement, right? It's not designed to replace a diet. Protein powder is most effective when it's used because you couldn't fit a meal in. So if you didn't have time to eat, but you still need a hit of protein, that's when protein powder is most effective and most useful. Good example of this. You work out in the morning, you need to go to work. You don't have time to sit down, cook and eat a meal. Drink a protein shake so you can get your 50 to 60 grams of protein. Don't forget this. I found myself when I first started training, replacing all my meals with protein powder purely because it was delicious. Felt really easy to drink a shake. But in the end, you can't really beat real food. I would always recommend an entirely whole food diet to hit your protein requirements, if possible. But for most people, it's not realistic to sit down and eat that much protein on a daily basis. That's when protein powders and protein shakes are really, really effective. So number one, don't forget what protein powder is for. It's there to supplement your diet, not replace it. In terms of protein timing, there's a lot of mixed research on this. Bottom line is this, the most important thing to remember is overall protein consumption. I tell my clients to hit 2 grams per kilo of body weight. As we know, our body uses protein to rebuild our muscles and give us that bigger, fuller, more muscular look. Therefore, you need to eat adequate protein in order to support protein muscle synthesis, your muscles growing essentially. So aim for 2 grams per kilo of body weight every day or more. How do I spread this out for me? Because the most important thing is total protein consumption, it's not too important when you consume the protein. It's gonna help a little bit if you spread it out evenly. Personally, I have a bit of freedom with my life because of the way I've set things up, so I try and eat every 2 to 3 hours and spread that protein across the day. However, research has shown that it doesn't make too much of a difference if you have all the protein in one go. There used to be some science claiming your body can only digest 30 grams of protein. That's been proven to be bullshit. You can digest a lot of fucking protein in one sitting if that's what you have to do to get your protein in. How does protein powder fit into this? Anytime you're not gonna be able to eat a meal and you still have protein left over, great time to use protein powder. If you're on the go, if you're headed to or from work, if you're on the train, if you're on the bus, if you're in the car, anytime you can't sit down and eat a meal, protein powder is gonna help you out a lot. Another little tip to use protein powder effectively, mix it into things. These days, protein powder mixes really, really well. When I first started training at the gym, protein powder was clumpy. You'd have one of those metal shaker balls and you'd shake it up and it still wouldn't dissolve. You'd have little clumps of powder in your meals. That doesn't happen anymore. Protein powder has evolved, it's elevated. The companies that make it are a lot better at what they do. For that reason, you can mix it into all sorts of stuff. Some of my favorites, smoothies, protein oats, even protein desserts. I mix protein into yogurt every single night, that's like my dessert. Whilst it doesn't matter a lot protein timing, in an ideal world, what we would do is have protein every 2 to 3 hours, especially around our workout. I will always go into a workout well fed with protein and carbs, and then after a workout, I have a lot of carbs and a lot of protein again. Like I said, the science is a bit so-so on this, but that's just something I've done throughout my entire training. I recommend it to all my clients and we see some good success with it. In terms of total protein consumption, how much protein powder should you have on a daily basis? I wouldn't go over about 2 to 3 servings. Anytime I have a protein shake, I'll always have a double serving of protein powder because the single serving is usually about 25 to 30 grams of protein, which isn't really enough for a single meal. So I'll always have 2 servings of protein powder at least a day, but I wouldn't really go above 3. Like I said, remember protein is a supplement. Take it when you can't quite fit in a meal just to increase your protein intake. Don't abuse it, you only need 1 or 2 servings a day. And make sure you pick a tasty brand that mixes well. If you got some value from this video, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.